about that, guys. Hey, happy Monday. I was about to say Wednesday. I don't know why my mind is on Wednesday, but clearly I want this week to go by really fast. Because yeah, it's been a Monday, but I'm grateful and here back with you guys. So, welcome back to Sip with Joy. If this is your first time, this is a show about a girl, her wine, and her feelings. And I am that girl. I am your host, Joy M. Hutton, serial entrepreneur and lover of food and wine. Speaks to my soul. So today, hey Elsie, today I'm drinking a Bordeaux red blend. Excuse me. And so it was too many things to put on the little bottle that I show you all. So it's a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, Petit Verdot, and Commonaire. And see, my voice, I'm struggling today, y'all, because I was screaming too much with Usher last night. Usher be trying to take your whole soul. Oh my gosh, but it was so good. The concert was so good. Hey, Robin. I love it. Hey, Joy M. Hutton. Um, but yeah, I'm saying concert. It was a Super Bowl, but it was still a concert to me. Okay, it was like I was there. So I have like no voice almost. I got my water here today in case I start fading on y'all. But it was so fun. Usher knows how to put on a show. Now it did start off a little bit chaotic. I ain't gonna lie. I was stressed. I was like, where's Usher? It was too many people on the ground. I was like, where are you, Usher? It was a lot going on, a lot of people on the field. But yeah, it was fun. Go Kansas City Chiefs. That's who I was going for. 49ers, y'all had a good game. I mean, we almost lost it. So, yeah, so anyway, today's episode is He's Just Not That Into You. And I talk about how ghetto dating is out here in these streets, but at the end of the day, we have to recognize the signs when someone has started to check out and move accordingly. And I really wanted to have a male perspective on this, but my guest flaked. But that's okay, because we gonna be all right. This is sip with joy, so we're gonna be all right. But so if there are any men in the chat that want to call in later or chime in, feel free to do so, because I want to hear you all's perspective, because this is just coming from me as a woman and just talking to people about their shared experiences. So don't be shy tonight, y'all. I know y'all out there. I know you watching, but don't be shy. Throw something in the chat. Let me know you're here. So I spend a lot of time talking to my friends about men's behavior and trying to decipher men's behavior. And yes, we're very different, but I really believe that people overcomplicate things. Like, I really don't think things are supposed to be so complicated. And people make it complicated. And if you find yourself in a state of confusion and can't figure out if someone likes you, then guess what? He's just not that into you. And it works both ways for men, men and women. She's just not that into you. But and it may not have anything to do with you per se, because we often start picking ourselves apart and say, man, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? It may not have anything to do with you. It could be that that person is just not ready. It may be that they're projecting unrealistic expectations onto you. It could be that they're distracted by someone else. The shiny new toy feeling wore off. Um, or they may just feel like it requires too much work that they're not willing to put in. And I'm finding that a lot. I don't know what it is. I think the pandemic just made people lazy and they don't want to put in work. So, people just not putting in the effort out there. Robin said, right, you shouldn't have to guess what they're feeling or what you guys are doing. Absolutely. So, those are some of the reasons why someone may not be into you, but what are some of the signs? Because I know, again, I'm having these conversations with my girls, like, girl, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, whatever. And again, throw some, throw some of them in the chat, because these are some of the reasons that I came up with just based on my dating experiences. But there may be some that I've missed, and there may be some that even we don't pay attention to, that we're like, oh my God, yes, I need to pay attention to these signs. So, LC, I said totally agree. Nobody should have to decipher if you are interested in them. Can we be grown ups and say how you feel? Right. Because what are we doing here? I feel like things were honestly easier when we were younger. Do you like me? Yes or no? You hold hands, eat your lunch together, meet up for recess. Even in high school, I felt like it wasn't this difficult. I don't know if it's just new age dating. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. And so, a lot of people are like, well, you got to adapt to the new things. I believe there's still hope out there. I still believe that there's hope. So yeah, it really shouldn't take all that. Tina said, "Wow, this is so on time. Going through this as we speak." Right. Poor communication, absolutely, and that's actually my first one, Nebra. So lack of communication or poor communication. So all of a sudden those good morning and hey beautiful texts are few and far between, or don't happen at all. They rarely initiate contact or take forever to respond to you. Now, this annoys me, because I'm like, you're not that busy. Even the president of the United States takes time out to talk to his wife. So you're not that busy. And if you're that busy, then again, he's just not that into you. He ain't got time. He don't want to make time. Or she ain't got time. She don't want to make time. Conversations may feel very one-sided, and you may find yourself doing most of the talking. I like to talk, but not really. So I don't think that things should be one-sided at all. And you have to pay attention to that. And people always ask, well, were the signs there? The signs are always there. So we just have to not ignore them, because we do that a lot. Um, Tina said, I just went through this exact same thing today. You are so correct. LC said, Valentine's Day is coming. I'm sure there will be a lot of fights coming. Oh yeah, girl. People act up when it's ready for Valentine's Day. And I'm like, why? Why? If you don't want to celebrate Valentine's Day, just say that. But don't sit up here and make it an issue. Like, there shouldn't be so much pressure for one day. Like, one, you should be paying attention to me every day, not just on Valentine's Day. Don't just buy me flowers or take me out to dinner on Valentine's Day. Do something, show me love every day. LC said, if married people find time to cheat, ooh, a single person certainly got time to call you back. Okay, ooh, LC fighting words. Look, y'all, LC was cutting up last week. I saw the last comment you had on the last episode, LC. LC was like, they're liars, they're cheaters. Listen, look, LC, woo sabu. I know it's hard out here. It's hard out here. Okay, so the next one, limited effort. So he doesn't make an effort to spend quality time or prioritize seeing you. And he may cancel, reschedule, or make other excuses for why he cannot see you. Pay attention to that. And then they don't plan future times to get together or seem enthusiastic about it. I know, especially in long distance relationships, or long distance situations that I've been in. Every time I saw that person, we were making plans to see each other the next time, because life gets busy and we're grown, okay? Adulting is happening, but there's no reason, especially long distance, where we should not be making plans to see each other again. There should not be months going by that we haven't seen each other. We decided to do this long distance thing, so make it happen. And then, especially when you're in the same city as that person, there's no excuse. So you're either prioritizing me or you're not. So there's just no excuse. Yep, LC, you was on one last week. So the next one is lack of interest. They show little interest in getting to know you on a deeper level or understanding your passions, your goals, what makes you tick. And the conversation may be very surface level or focused solely on that person. And I know I've been in situations like whenever I feel like dating is very surface level, that's a red flag for me because one, that means that it's going to stay surface level and we'll never really get to know each other. And then two, that means that we won't have a foundation for friendship if we're keeping it very baseline. So for me, I pay attention to that, how we communicate, because if it's like that early on, then you're really not trying to get to know me. And gotta go. So yeah. So three, or that was three. Next, inconsistency. This one right here is a big telltale to me, and I have had so many uh, arguments or disputes with people about inconsistency because there are people who just don't see the value in it. And that to me is a red flag. If you feel like inconsistency is not a problem, you're the problem. So if his behavior becomes inconsistent and you're left feeling unsure about where you all stand, he's just not that into you. He may disappear for days at a time, and it's the disappearing act for me, and then you come back without an explanation. That to me is a no. That's a problem to me. So let's see. Robin said that's the one that burns you up the most. Ooh, girl, yes, yes, it is. And people don't understand that. But again, if someone is showing a lack of consistency or being inconsistent, that you have to ask yourself, what's really going on here? And men, I know y'all in here, so say something. What are some things, even for you as a man? How can you tell if a woman is not into you? LC said, if you're persistent, you may get it, but you need to be consistent to keep it. Ooh, I'm going to read that again. If you're persistent, you may get it, but you need to be consistent to keep it. That's so good. Lack of emotional support. So he's unsupportive or indifferent when you're going through challenging times or stress and fails to comfort you. This is a big one because you can really tell how far you're going to go with someone by how they treat you when you're going through a challenging time. Do they just check out? Are they dismissive? Like, that's a telltale sign for me. Um, Lack of commitment. He avoids uh, any discussion about the future of your relationship or seems hesitant to commit to anything long term. Now, this one right here gets me too because I have met so many guys that tell you that tell me I see you in my future, all this stuff. I want to have babies with you, want to get married, all these things. But your behavior is saying otherwise. And I don't know if it's, are you telling me this because you think that's what I want to hear? Because honestly, for me, someone who's very intentional, that's a turn off for me. Don't tell me what you think I want to hear. Let's just get to know each other. Like, why are we doing this? So I think, and I've talked about this before, the love bombing and all of that. Like, it just starts to just become very disingenuous, and it's just like, if that's not how you really feel, then don't say it. We are grown. We're grown. Why are we still doing this? So yeah, and when you start seeing that someone's just going to be dragging you on forever, like, I don't understand when I hear people say, I've been in a relationship with this person for 10 years, and I'm like, so y'all, like, is that what you want? Like, have you talked about marriage? Have you, because what we not going to do, we're not about to do this unless that's something that we explicitly talked about. We don't want to get married, and we're going to be in a long-term relationship. Usher just married his longtime girlfriend. I think they had been together since 2019. But they also have two kids together. He finally decided it was time to marry. And what's interesting about marriage is, you got these women out here controlling the narrative and getting on a bended knee for these men. I will not. I will eat rocks before I do something like that. Like, no, I'm not doing it. But the thing is, like, I've had this conversation with Lydia before. Like, men, they have this sense of entitlement, especially when they know you want children or you want to be married. They control the ring and the baby. But now, people out there marrying themselves, or they're just opting out of marriage altogether, and they're having children by themselves. So women have options. So men need to stop thinking that they control all of this. I mean, unfortunately, if you want to be with a man and you want to get married and you want to have a baby with a man, then yeah, that is, and you want to do it the traditional way, then yes, it is some level of control. But I feel like there's a sense of entitlement about that, and I just don't agree with that. And I tell my friends who have kids, I'm like, you can date differently when you have kids. I'm in a space where I'm thinking, about dating differently. And I've been married before, so I don't necessarily have to get married again. But then someone who's not married, they're thinking about marriage. They're going into situations thinking about a future husband. So, but you can date differently when you already have kids and you don't want kids. Your options, you got greater options. Because this men out here just snipping, they 40 and they ain't had one kid and they snipping, or they already have children and they don't want children. Or you have the men that want to wait until they 55 to get somebody pregnant. Well, who you gonna be with? A 25-year-old? Because these eggs ain't gonna last forever. um, let's see. So, Elsie said, let me get a drink of water. Get you some wine. Nakiva said, women proposing to men is backwards right. Elsie said, I would, I would mop the ocean first. Girl. Tina said, I ended the good morning text. He saved all his money instead of taking me out. Wants to shack up, but he told me today, finally, that he doesn't want a wife. That's when I will get his time and dates. Wow. Too many years invested in this foolishness. Yes. Boy, bye. Exactly, Tina. Boy, bye. We have to take control of these situations and stop enabling behavior that we don't agree with. So, whew, y'all, let me take a sip of wine, okay? This topic be having me stressed out. Okay. All right. So I think, yeah, I talked about the conversations being surface level, or being focused solely on him. All right. Um, Lack of commitment. Okay, mixed signals. He sends mixed signals or gives ambiguous responses when you express your feelings or desires. Or he'll give you hope one minute and then pull away the next. I'm like, what is that? Again, he's just not into you. Somebody must have his attention, or it could be a number of different things, but it's the wishy-washiness for me. Like, just be honest. And again, like, people don't have conversations anymore, or there are people who just want to string you along to the death of them. Like, let me come back to her just in case. I'm gonna just keep saying hey until she stops responding. It's crazy. um and again, it goes back to that telling me what I want to hear. um and so, hello, walking into her. Robin said, but do we see the signs and red flags but ignore them just to be in a relationship? Absolutely. I absolutely believe that we ignore things, especially, again, I think some people get into situations if they want to have children, if they want to be married, and they just, just hold on. Or you may be thinking there's not anything better, but you deserve more. Like, and sometimes that means you just have to wait a little longer. And listen, patience is not one of my strengths, but listen, God has been testing me on the patience tip, okay? She said, I know you lying, give me 50 feet. Right. So, yeah, I definitely do think we ignore the red flags all the time. You know how many red flags I have ignored, girl? Woo! Listen, y'all, now I'm getting hot up in here. Okay. Disrespectful behavior. So he may belittle your opinions, ignore your boundaries, or talk down to you. And for me, lack of respect is an absolute deal breaker. You cannot say that you love someone when you don't respect that person. Like, it's an absolute no. You start talking to me crazy, it's a wrap. Um, Lack of physical affection. So he shows little to no physical affection. Physical intimacy is minimal or non existent, and the chemistry falls off. Those are things to pay attention to because it's like men want sex. So if you don't want sex and we're dating and we're in a situation, whatever you want to call it, and we're not physical, there's no intimacy, there's no affection, then that has to raise your spidey senses. Just absolutely not. And we grown. Okay, so listen. The what I say last week or the week before, my libido is high. LC said, as my friend's mom used to say, a man will only do what you allow him to do. Yes. Okay, that is so true. All right, next, you feel it in your gut. Like, listen, y'all, the intuition is real. Is there for a reason. Your intuition will always let you know if something doesn't feel right, and we can't ignore that feeling. How many and Robin can attest to this because I call Robin. What do you think I should do about this? Now I know in my gut probably what I should do, and I may prolong a situation longer than I have to. And then you have to ask yourself why. When you went through a list of all the reasons why this is not a good situation for you, why are you still in it? Why? Are you bored? Are you like you have to ask yourself why are you holding on to a situation? Are you fearful that you can't find someone better? Because that also ties back to you. You have to believe that you deserve more too. So yes, we can't be out here devaluing ourselves. Okay. um, Tina said the dishonesty and so-called potential. A whole lot of words saying nothing. I dated other guys in between this guy. This guy said some crazy stuff to me today. That's when I draw the line. Moving on. Yep, out of there, girl. Out of there. And Robin said, or people don't want to be alone. Absolutely. Or don't want to be alone. So, yeah, you have to ask yourself why you may be holding on to a situation. And is it worth it? Like, are you sacrificing your peace of mind? Are you blocking your blessing by wasting your time on somebody else? So we have to think about that. We have to ask ourselves these questions. So, and it's not the best feeling. I know it's not the best feeling when you realize someone is not into you. But again, it may not have anything to do with you. It is them. They are the problem. They are dealing with some stuff. They may be projecting on you. Now, if you did something crazy, then it was you. But I'm talking about when you know that you put forth 100% effort, when you know that you showed up for this person, when you know you're giving your all. But at the end of the day, you deserve someone who is genuinely excited to be with you. I don't believe in this half-ass love. If I'm excited to talk to you or see you, I want the same. So you deserve someone who's going to be excited to be with you, someone who values and respects you and accepts you for who you are. Plain and simple. All right. Okay. So let me see what y'all talking about over here. Okay. Robin says sometimes we need an objective perspective and an extra pair of eyes or ears on a situation. LC said I was reading earlier that women are attracted to what they're craving, like attention, affection. Ooh, yeah, that's good. And I really think that all of that is true. But we have to lean on our discernment because we usually know. Like even when I was married, people always ask me, "Well, did you see any sign?" Of course I did. It's like, of course I did. But I ignored such certain things and treated situations as isolated incidents instead of seeing things for what they really were. You cannot force a square peg into a round hole. And that's the other thing too. Like when I was talking about things not being complicated, you have to if you feel like something is a task, that means you're checking out. You're not fully in there. And if you feel like anybody else communicating with you is a task, then they checking out. They're just not that into you. And you're not into that person, so stop forcing stuff. If it's not there, stop forcing stuff. And the other thing too is, I know we get to a certain point where we want companionship, but is it worth it at the end of the day if you're in a bad situation? No. No. Call your friends, go do something. Find something to fill that time that's healthy and not being in an unhealthy situation. Um, let's see. Tina said that's right. Even at this age of the 50s, we just have to be patient. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, y'all, this is what the sip, all right? Alarsa Pippen, Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, and Marcus Jordan split. But honestly, I think we saw that coming. Like I feel like that whole relationship anyway was out of spite. You're being spiteful because of your ex-husband, and he got daddy issues. Marcus got daddy issues. So I honestly saw that coming. But they were just talking about, having children together. She froze her eggs or whatever. Now all of a sudden y'all split. And it's just everything is just so public now, and it's just crazy. One, I didn't really care about their relationship in the first place. I don't care about none of these people's relationship. I'm trying to get a man. So, but it is, um, you know, these people, it's just, I told y'all, it's ghetto out here. So, and then Tyrese is coming undone on the internet again. He said his girlfriend broke up with him because there were too many songs on his album about his ex. One, Tyrese, why do you feel like you have to post this? He's since deleted the post. Two, grow up. And three, she's young. This girl he's with is young, and guess what? She's just not that into you. All right. So, yeah, it's just too much, okay? It's just too much, y'all. These streets, it's just real ghetto out here. But at the end of the day, remember your worth is not determined by someone's dusty ass son or daughter, and someone's level of interest or lack thereof. You are deserving of love, respect, and reciprocity in your relationship. So don't settle for anything less than you deserve. And I feel like I sound like Tabitha Brown when I said that. But but it's true, guys. At the end of the day, we have to feel like we deserve more, and stop settling. So yeah, that's all I got. We are almost at the end of this season. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you like this episode. And if you're not subscribed and you're just lurking, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future episodes. And yeah, I guess I didn't open up the phone lines, but if you want to call in, let me go ahead and put that number up. If you want to call, I still ain't got this phone thing situation fixed. I'm trying, y'all. Okay, we're gonna get it one day. I don't know why it's not working, but if you want to call in, chime in 713-396-0277. So I'll give it a second before I get off of here. If someone wants to call, chime in about what I've had to say today, because it's real. But I wish I had a male perspective on this, because I really want to hear what you all feel about what I said, because this is not a one-sided thing here. It's not one-sided. It takes two to tango. So 713-396-0277 if you're going to call in. I'm going to take a sip and see if someone calls. Okay. Y'all being shy, that's okay. And then they go be in my DMs talking about something later. All right. Thank you again, guys, for tuning in, and I will see you all. So shiny. I will see you all back here next week.